All right, so just about to take off for the day here. Gonna film a video. I want to remind you guys to head on over to InsideOutPrecision.com. We got all sorts of hats. We just got a bunch of new hats. We've got some camo hats coming, some different color schemes and whatnot. So InsideOutPrecision.com. Look good, feel good, shoot good. Additionally, please, if you watch the channel and you like the information you're getting, it really helps us out if you subscribe to the channel. The algorithm is based off of subscribers and all sorts of other things, but subscribers mean more than just likes. So while we appreciate all the likes, subscribing really helps us out. If you hit that notification button or bell as well, when the video drops, it will notify you. When our video drops, it'll notify you, and you won't miss any good content. So I'm gonna get the camera set up here. We're gonna get rolling on this review, and then it's Friday night, so I'm going home and eating tacos and calling it a day. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Inside Out Precision. Today, the UltraView Hinge 2. Those of you who've been following for a while, you know that I shot the original Hinge for, I don't know, like a couple of years, I think, year and a half, 2 years. I actually left it at TAC in my Airbnb. So I emailed the lady a couple times and never heard anything back. So the owner of Complex A in Park City in the Mill Creek condos, you owe me an UltraView Hinge. But that's besides the point. So I ended up getting the UltraView 2 Hinge because I didn't have a Hinge. I've been shooting my thumb button really well. I like it, but the Hinge is just always a good tool to be able to come back to. And they made a couple really key upgrades. So if you have shot the Hinge in the past and you liked it, I guarantee you will like this even more. It is more comfortable, which was always their whole deal. Like, I think Chris B said they looked at like 700 different people's shapes of their hands in order to get the most ergonomically comfortable release. You know, they widened the handle a little bit here. They changed the size of them a little bit, so the medium is a little bit smaller than the original medium, and the large is a little bit bigger. I'm shooting the medium. I have pretty average size hands. Like it's like 8 inches from here, you know, from pinky to thumb there. And the medium feels really good. Now, if you had really big, like thick, meaty fingers, you might want to go with the large. But I think it's important that you have a relaxed hand when you're shooting a Hinge. You know, I actually kind of, when I pull into that shot, you know, I'm not like physically manipulating the release like this. I'm basically just starting to relax those fingers and keep those fingers soft as I kind of build that tension. And that's what gets the release to fire. And if my hand is too spread out, you know, and it's tense, it's much harder. You know, then you're just pulling and it's not actually manipulating that release at all. So they changed up the sizing a little bit. And then I think probably my favorite feature, and something that, you know, other release companies have been doing this, and I surprised it, you know, took as long as it did because it's such a good feature. And that is the independent adjustment between the travel it takes to get to the click and the amount of travel it takes to get from the click to when the release fires. And for me, this is a game changer. On the original Hinge, I didn't see an option. I guess I didn't read the fine print enough, but when you ordered it, you could order the moon, which is the part that has a little click engraved into it, with a 20 thousandths click, meaning it would take from the time it clicks to the time it fires, it has to travel another 20 thousandths of an inch, a 14 or a 10 thousandth. If you did not specify which one you wanted, it just came with the 20 thousandths click. Now that doesn't sound very far, right? 20 thousandths of an inch, but it's kind of shocking actually when you're at full draw. And well, when that hand is right up against your face, it's like the sensory feedback is so like finite and in tune right there. So it feels like it's moving a mile even though it's 20 thousandths of an inch. And for me, it felt like where my hand was most comfortable. So originally I set it to, like, you know, I'd be drawn, or I'd anchor, and I'd kind of get to the point and it would boom, click, and I was like, oh, that feels so comfortable. And I'd be really steady right there. And then I kind of had to take it past that point to a position where my hand wasn't it wasn't as natural of a position. I didn't have as much leverage on the release anymore. It made, you know, it felt like I kind of was gonna come out of my anchor almost a little bit, like it just wasn't sitting good on my face. And there's kind of that little sweet spot, like it would click and I'd feel it start to move and it'd be like, oh, it'd be so nice if it would just fire right there. But it didn't. I had to keep going, you know, another 5 or 6 or 7 thousandths of an inch before it would fire. So then I had to, you know, adjust the travel of it so that it would click sooner than what I kind of wanted, but then it would fire in the same position where it was clicking previously. So I had to play around with it. You know, I was a little bit worried that because it was clicking so soon, there was the potential for a misfire. You know, if you weren't, you had to really peg that thumb and that front finger. Not like uncomfortably so, but you know, there's definitely a lot more pressure on my index finger drawing it like that. With this one, you know, I can get it to click right there, and then I mean, you can set it to no click if you want. Mine, I don't know how to measure it really, but it's probably right about 12 or 14 thousandths from the time it clicks to the time it fires. And for me, I really like that because it's like it clicks and then I just kind of think about relaxing my finger and it fires. You know, everybody's going to be different with that distance that they want. So you can, you know, set it really far apart. It's easy to set. So the set screw in the bottom right here, you loosen that. And then these two, so this is your click, this is your fire, and those are the two little screws for it right there. So you can turn those in or back those out and it will, you know, change the distance it takes to get to the click as well as the distance from the time it clicks to the time it fires. So for those reasons, I think, you know, all the upgrades on this are huge. They have a lot of different options. This is the all aluminum one. You can get the all stainless, but they were like 3 months back ordered when I ordered this and I didn't really feel like waiting. You can get the hunting bracket, you can get the 4-finger extension, all sorts of stuff. One thing that I learned the hard way when I bought the original Hinge is they do not sell the thumb peg with the release. You have to order it separately. I don't know why they do that. It seems kind of silly to me. Like, you're spending $300 on a release, give me a freaking thumb peg with it, but you do have to order that separately. I get all kinds of messages say, hey, I think UltraView forgot my thumb peg, and it's like, no, they make you buy that. So that's kind of a weird deal, but it doesn't take away from, you know, the mechanics of the release, which I think are good. Another thing they did is the other one, the head here would just like flop around. Now again, I'm not hunting with a Hinge, but that's a problem. Like if you're walking and that thing is just like flopping all around, it's making a ton of noise. Now, when this is engaged, there's a magnet in there, and I mean, you can get, you know, a little bit of noise, but not even close to what it was before. You know, it's really not gonna make any noise if it's hanging by your side or just, you know, moving it from your pocket to your hand or whatever, or to your string. So that's definitely a cool feature there. Like lots of people were taking little like rubber bands and putting it around this piece and the head there to keep that from happening. And you know, it's stretch enough that you could still fire it, no problem, but it would keep that thing from flopping around. So they just put a little magnet in there with this one and no more floppy. So anyway, I think it's a great release. I'm actually gonna go shoot some arrows with it right now and play around with it more. I've been shooting it really well. It's actually feels pretty similar to my Stand Perfects in terms of like draw length and anchor point and everything like that. I did have to drop my peep height just a touch, and that's just due to the difference in position of the hook here. You know, on the Hinge here, this comes back over the middle finger more, whereas in the Stand Perfects is pretty much just, you know, the hook would be like right here versus right there. So anyway, had to lower that peep a little bit, but super comfortable. If you have any questions on this, as usual, hit me up at Inside Out Precision on Instagram, or actually it's inside_out_precision on Instagram. Hit that comment section below, or, you know, call the shop if you got any questions. Please don't call on Saturdays. I'm too busy. I don't have 20 minutes to answer all your questions, but anytime during the week, I'll do my best to answer your questions. So thanks again for watching, guys. And remember, precision is a decision. Keep them in the middle. I'll see you on the range.